my pleasure to announce that the 2026 Western Canadian Baseball League Rural Roots game will be held in Carnduff, Saskatchewan.
Welcome to episode 378 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland, and this is a special edition of the show as we had some breaking news on Monday. The Western Canadian Baseball League has unveiled its host for the 2026 Rural Roots Baseball Classic. As you heard it in the open, League President Kevin Kvame has announced Carnduff, Saskatchewan will play host to the game May 29th between the Weyburn Beavers and Saskatoon Berries. After the resounding success of last year's event in Oyen, the league quickly got to work on finding a locale for the 2026 edition. Speaking with several communities on both sides of the border to gauge interest, the league held a news conference late Monday morning, and we were dialed in as I also served as the MC for the call. So we have a few clips we'll play before a full interview with local organizer and baseball coach Blair Beck. We'll start with Kvame, who says it's an important opportunity to celebrate the grassroots of baseball in rural parts of Saskatchewan and Alberta.
I think in the big cities quite often, and we forget about the heritage of both the growth of our provinces and the growth of baseball. I really think that we need to connect back to that, because that is when baseball was at its purest. That's when our communities were at their purest, is when the communities came together at a ballpark and celebrated the community in general. It was a great summer activity. It still remains a great summer activity. And I think we're proving that we can go back to the past and play in the present. And that is that I really think is important as a league, that we connect back to our roots and our rural roots.
With the game happening on opening weekend, it'll also be a great way to kick off the summer.
You know, I think that we have 336 regular season games that draw excitement to the league, and this is just one that we want to amplify at the beginning of the year. We're in opening weekend as well. You know, we asked for a date that the Beavers could possibly do that, and this was a date that ended up on the calendar that the ballpark in Weyburn is not available. And when we're looking for a site for a game, you know, it was awesome to have the community of Carnduff step up and say, we can do this, and we can put on your second Rural Roots game. And yes, it's going to be a great kickoff to the season, along with all the other teams' home openers and everything going on in that exciting opening week of baseball. So, you know, to answer your question, it's just going to be one of many, but it's going to be one that we really want to amplify.
It was nice for Beck and Carnduff Recreation Director Jodie to get the news out into the world as well. They've been putting in a boatload of work behind the scenes just to get the process started, as they firmly believe they can put on a great show.
I think for myself, being part of the rec board and helping host events in the past, most of the higher level city players don't want to come out here because they think it's Carnduff and it's just a little hick town, and they come here and they see our diamonds and they see what we can do as a volunteer community and how we can put on a show. And I think that's the best thing. I know we can do it. So I think it's going to be really good for the whole day, the whole organization. I think both teams are going to be very happy with what we're able to give them.
And it's not just a nice field that they can hang their hats on either.
The people too, the volunteer base, they definitely will bring out, like, Carnduff. You can ask anybody that you think might be from Carnduff at the Diamonds if you need something, and they're probably going to be able to help you or point you in the right direction to look after you. The people definitely make the event for us.
From the Weyburn Beavers perspective, part-time bench coach and part-time play-by-play man John Prette says Southeast Saskatchewan couldn't be more excited.
Thank you to the WCBL Board of Governors for awarding us the second annual Rural Roots Classic game. The Weyburn Beavers are delighted to bring the WCBL to Carnduff. We knew that Carnduff has the physical and organizational infrastructure to put on a first-class show. Carnduff is well known for hosting high-level events, and this game is certainly going to help elevate their profile even more and should set the bar for future hosts of the Rural Roots Classic. Regarding impacts of this game to the Beavers in the Southeast, I think this event serves to really raise the profile of the Beavers throughout Southeast Saskatchewan, while demonstrating to minor baseball and softball players what can be possible in their sport when it comes to collegiate athletics and whatnot. And ideally, when the next Carter Beck comes along in the southeast, they should want to be a Weyburn Beaver because we are present for them throughout the developmental years. So it's been said that baseball is a game of failure. I believe that baseball is a game of opportunity, and what an opportunity the town of Carnduff and the Weyburn Beavers have been granted.
And it'll be a bit of an adventure for the teams involved as well to see not only a new ballpark, but some new fans as well.
We're incredibly excited. We see kind of the same stadiums, same 11 other stadiums every year. It's going to be nice to go to a new location. And with the connection with Carter Beck and the Berries, this is a real natural. So, we're absolutely delighted. As I said in my statement, couldn't be prouder to be going to Carnduff. And I knew all along that they had the people and the facilities to pull it off.
From the Saskatoon Berries, President Steve Hildebrand echoes that sentiment of it being an opportunity for the league to put itself on a pedestal in some markets they don't necessarily get to see every season.
Yeah, we're excited about this game. Really, it's a privilege for us to be a part of it. I think what we started last year as a league is really special. I think it's extremely important to be having these types of games in small rural communities. Obviously, having a player like Carter Beck and the Beck family involved in our organization the last few years, plays a lot into it, and we're super grateful and excited to be there. I have no doubts they are going to pull a great game off here, and we're just going to do what we can to help that process out. And we're excited to have it. We're excited to be a part of it, and again, looking forward to that day. And it's going to be a fantastic day, and I expect a full ballpark. And anyone who wants to come out, please get to Carnduff.
And Hildebrand says it's a chance for young kids to see the game and dream about one day either playing in the summer circuit or go on to even bigger things.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, again, it's a journey, right, for these young athletes, and their experiences that they incur while they're here with us in the league in the WCBL. They're going to experience different things and new sites and new places and new people, and it's just going to be a really exciting day. I think the league as a whole just continues to grow. Again, the Real Roots game is awesome. It's great for the league, and we're just going to keep continuing to grow this thing. And it's going to be a special day in Carnduff, and I know they're going to do a fantastic job.
So again, May 29th in Carnduff, it'll be the Weyburn Beavers hosting the Saskatoon Berries. First pitch is slated for 4:35 p.m., and now the real work begins. From potentially adding new seating for the game, to concessions, to broadcasting, it'll be another one for the ages. Oyen did a great job of it in 2025, so Carnduff will have some best practices and some learnings to lean on. And for local event organizer, baseball coach, and teacher Blair Beck, he's ready to put on a show. Here's our conversation right after Monday's announcement. Blair, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
I'd imagine you're pretty excited to be talking about something as big as this. The Rural Roots Classic is coming to Carnduff. What went through your mind when you first found out that your community was going to be hosting this event?
I was very excited, obviously, and then just a confidence that this is baseball's been a really big part of things in Carnduff for a generation, or since it started, and we're really excited to get that quality of ball here.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. One of the things that you first sent to me was like this whole history, and I won't make you go into the backstory, but you alluded to it right off the bat. It's amazing how baseball has become kind of central to a lot of what happens, not just in Carnduff, but around southern Saskatchewan. It seems like it's a staple of the community during the summer months, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure it is. And I love going back and looking at the old pictures where the guys were like 100 years ago, and just thinking about where they got the jerseys or gloves, or the things we all take for granted today, and how that love of baseball gets passed down generational. And guys today still get that opportunity to go out and play a great game.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of work has gone into this process from the beginning and what's going to be leading up to the next couple of months here. Take me back to the beginning. What was it about Rural Roots and that whole idea that made you go, hey, we should do that here?
I think we have a lot of confidence in our ability to put on good events, and at the Ball Diamond, we've hosted Western Canadian Championships. We've hosted lots of provincial championships. We have what we think is one of the best small town ball diamonds setups in the province. So we knew we could do that kind of stuff. And then obviously with Carter and the success he's had in the WCBL. It means a lot to our community, and people are very invested in the WCBL because of the success he's had. And I just was really excited that it would be a great fit.
Mhm. Someone joked with me the other day about how this is almost the worst kept secret in Southeast Saskatchewan right now
Yeah.
because there's been some people, kicking tires and that kind of stuff about different aspects of this thing. Word's obviously been trickling out for a while. What do you think this means though for the community and the whole area to be able to put on an event like this?
It's such a unique event. Like we don't get opportunities like this in small towns very often. And we always have to travel to go to things if we want to go to a WCBL game, if we want to go to an SJHL game, those kind of things. And when they come to our area, it just means so much more to everybody to be able just to go out and go to the Diamonds locally and to see that quality. Like I don't have to tell you about the success of WCBL guys in the last draft years and those kind of things. Like those kind of players exist, and to have them at our Diamond and get a chance to show off our Diamond in our town, like I said, we're just super excited.
What are you envisioning for the day's worth of festivities? Because it sounds like you want to put on a show and make a real big dent in the world, set the bar really high for whoever's going to be hosting this thing next.
Absolutely. We want to get our minor ball guys involved. First of all, that's kind of our first goal is to have those guys and to have them be able to see that this is something that's available, and something that if they keep working at, they have a chance to attain. And then the other thing we want to do is we really want to get involved in the whole area, right? We're in the southeast corner. We have a pretty good baseball organization, and we just want to continue to build that up and get everybody excited about the game. And the more kids that can come, and I guess be kind of kid centric mainly, I envision kids running around for BP and kids running around the outside collecting foul balls and all the things that make small town ball great.
hmm It's got to be a pretty special moment for you on a personal level too, because not only do you have sort of I'll call it the area team with the Weyburn Beavers taking part, but obviously you mentioned it, a team that's very near and dear to your own personal heart in the Saskatoon Berries. Talk about being able to have that opportunity to have them on your front, in your backyard.
Yeah, obviously, the last couple of years with the Berries, they've been a tremendous group of people to be involved with. I mean, nobody's better than Joe Carnahan. He's a great guy, and the whole organization, Mark Campbell, Hilty, they just do things right. And to have them willing to come down here and take part is awesome. And the same thing with the Beavers, like they do a great job as well. I've been to lots of games there over the years, and the fact that they're willing to come here and give us a chance to do this is something we're really happy for.
Mhm. What do you think that does for, but you mentioned the kids, and that is the first thing that comes to my mind too, is like, what do you think it means for those kids who are going to be able to see this talent up close and personal, and they have that connection with Carter, or they have that connection with some of the other players that have made their way through that area over the years, who are going on to bigger and better things. They see college, they see a pro career possibly down the line. Like there's a real pipeline there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I think because we're in Saskatchewan and it's always hockey centric, and I love hockey, and it's but sometimes kids have missed out on like there's opportunities in baseball too, and that's in our area you take a guy like Tyron Dorrance that played with the Beavers for a number of years. He was kind of the first guy in this new generation to go to college, and he's I don't know 4 or 5 years older than some of the guys around, and lots of guys in the area were like, hey, look at like Tyron's going to school in California. That's really cool. Like he's from Alameda. I could do that, right? And that he set the standard for what everybody else like as our groups kind of came through. And so hopefully the kids that are coming up today get to see that, see what Carter's done and different guys have done, and be like, hey man, I can do that.
Not just that too, I suppose from a purely baseball perspective is you're probably looking at this going, hey, we've got the Blue Jays bump going on, we've got what happened at the WBC going on. Like interest in baseball from coast to coast to coast in this country probably hasn't been stronger in a long time, and so to be able to capitalize on that is probably a pretty nice thing to have in your back pocket heading into the summer.
100%. And like I said before, like we're really proud of our ball diamonds and we keep them busy. We got 100 plus kids registered for in ball in town of 1,200 people. So obviously ball plays a pretty major part, but we want to also expand that into the communities around and keep everybody active in the sport instead of just maybe like a small pocket. We want to continue to grow that in Carnduff and outside of Carnduff as well.
For sure. Final question for you. When you look ahead to the last weekend of May there, and you're thinking, and you put out your crystal ball for a minute, what does success look like to you for the WCBL Rural Roots Classic?
Well, success looks like to me that we've had a great group of volunteers that have come together and put on a show, and that we have brought a lot of people into our ball diamonds and to appreciate the skill level that the WCBL has, and to just like grow a further love of the game of baseball. And yeah, like I think you said earlier there, we get a couple kids that come and they're like, man, this is really cool. This is something I want to do. Like, that's a win. And I think just that community spirit that comes out in small towns when you get a chance to do something like this gets everybody excited and really wants to do a good job. And I think at the end of the day, we will.
I have no doubt about it in my mind, just based off the passion that I've seen out of you and so many other people in the community already to this point. Congratulations on the official announcement being made now. Best of luck as we head over the next couple of months towards the big day. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks again to Blair Beck for joining us for this special edition of the show, and thanks to everyone who joined the conference call on Monday. Congratulations again to Carnduff, Saskatchewan on being named host of the WCBL Rural Roots Baseball Classic. May 29th again is the big day for the Weyburn Beavers to battle the Saskatoon Berries. We'll have another episode of the show ready for you on Friday with all the news and notes from the past week of baseball, plus a few great guests, so hit subscribe on your app of choice. A tip of the cap, as always, to our Platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League for their generosity in helping us tell the game stories in our province. For more on our tremendous teammates and to join our roster, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support, online, on social, and on air, of Alberta Dugout Stories.